What's going on, guys? This is Titos here, and today I am bringing you my PPL Week 7 team analysis video. So I have actually got my shit together a bit more this week, and so I'll have a separate team analysis and battle for you. So if you don't know what the PPL is, that's the Pokemon Premier League. It's a draft-based Pokemon league like a whole bunch of the others that have been around. Basically, draft a team, play people, etc. It's fairly self-explanatory if you know what Pokemon is. Links in the description to the Twitter and YouTube for that league. So YouTube, there are power rankings and recaps uploaded relatively regularly. And Twitter is where you can see transfer announcements, any announcements if they're looking for people to fill in, or if they're looking to people to actually have a full team for next season, that kind of thing, so make sure you go check all that out. There's also a link down there to the public spreadsheet, where you can see the full league table and Golden Pokeball Award and all of that jazz. So Golden Pokeball Award is like our version of the MVP. It comes from the Golden Boot in the English Premier League, which is obviously what this league is based off. Anyway, there will also be links to all the other coaches in Division 1, so be sure to go check all of them out. In particular, I'd like you to pay attention to Slyroh, because he genned my team for this week, so thank you very much to him. And last shout out is to Titos for the thumbnails for the PPL this season. Now, just a quick recap on the league table since last week. Basically, we are sitting in second, a game clear of anyone, and one game behind Sam and the MewCastle United. So Sam's team is, I mean, I don't really care. I can't talk about Sam's team yet. I'll talk about that when I play him. But to catch him, basically I'm going to have to beat him, or hope someone else does. I haven't played him yet, so I do have that opportunity to try and get a win and put ourselves on top. Until then, I just have to keep playing as I've been playing and trying to beat every single person, because that's how you win this league. We don't have playoffs and that kind of thing, so I can't just be happy with the fact that I'm making the playoffs and try and beat people then. I have to actually just beat everyone I can. But yeah, nice to be in second place, and even if I stuff up, I'm guaranteed a spot in the top 4 this week, which is a really, really nice position to be in, and I'm pretty sure, I don't think mathematically I can't be relegated, but it's at the point where, like, it'd be really, some weird shit would have to happen for me to get relegated, like, everyone would just have to compress. So that's nice, because I really didn't want to get kicked out of D1 straight away. So I was also going to do a Golden Pokeball Award thing, except, unfortunately, games have already happened this week by the time I'm recording this, and because it's an auto-updated sheet, it has some spoilers for other matches, so I'm not going to go and show you that. So instead, I'm just going to show you my team tab, or at least a chunk of it, and you can see how the ones on my team are going. I haven't put the positions for the Golden Pokeball Award there, but Tyranitar is 8th, Emboar is 12th, Latios is 13th, those two very close obviously. And then I believe our next closest is Excadrill on 21st, and then Thundurus on like 27th, and then a big drop off after that. But basically, we have a much more consistent spread of kills on our team, which I actually quite like. I think it makes my team building a bit more unpredictable, because there are so many different things that can actually do work for me. So yeah, that's a quick recap of my team's running. All the things are, it's games played, kills, deaths, and then essentially differential. They call it over-under for some reason. But yeah, so on to this week, and the team we are playing is coached, managed, whatever you want to call it, by RTK, and they're called the Portland Timburrs. Again, links to his stuff in the description if you want to go check him out. So he, after transfers and such, has a team of Milotic, Mega Medicham, Rotom Heat, Donphan, Vileplume, Gardevoir, Mandibuzz, Cypher, and Bisharp. So, basically when I started team building, I was like, this man does not have much for a Thundurus. And by does not have much, I mean he has a Rotom Heat and potentially a Spadef Gardevoir. But even Spadef Gardevoir doesn't particularly like taking hits. So I was like, I'm going to try and sweep with Thundurus. Sub Nasty Plot, Thunderbolt, Hidden Power, Ice was the best set I could think to go with. Enough speed to outspeed everything on his team that isn't Scuffed. So I will outspeed Cypher, I will outspeed Mega Medicham. This is also a potential check if you bring Sword Start Cypher, and it gets up to like +4, I can still chew a quick attack, well, chew, and hopefully take it out with a Thunderbolt unless he has like a lot of speed F investment to violate. Sub lefties is just nice for his priority users, namely Donphan because it gets Ice Shard and Sucker Punch Bisharp, so I can basically force him to sack something so I can get a kill off. And if he only has one of those two left, I can potentially just sweep his entire team. I do need a lot of damage on the Rotom Heat, but at +2, especially defensive Rotom Heat still takes like 40% from a Thunderbolt, so with rocks, potential sand damage, other damage, I feel like that's manageable. So max special attack because damage, I mentioned the speed investment already. IVs are freaking power ice, I didn't want to lose 1 IV in speed because I needed that. And this spread ends up being a little bit bulkier, so yeah. Then the rest in HP, because like to get an odd number, and then the leftover EV is just in defense, because you never know when I'll leave the quick attack on 1 or something like that. So the next mon I decided to bring doesn't particularly pair up well with this, but does handle a couple of threats I was very, very concerned about, and that is Tyranitar. A Choice Scarf Tyranitar with Brick Break, Stone Edge, Crunch, and Toxic. Now, part of the reason I wanted Choice Scarf Tyranitar is because of Bisharp. Obviously, Sucker Punch is going to hurt everything, and if he gets up to +2, for example, if he gets his Defiant or whatever, I wanted something that could take a Sucker Punch outspeed and kill it. So unless he's Scarfed, in which case he has to lock himself into a move, and then I can, if he locks himself into Iron Head, I have an Excadrill, I have an Emboar, I have a Slowbro, so I can take those hits. If he locks himself into like Knockoff, this thing can take the hit, Mega Rodino can take the hit, etc. So I feel like he's more likely to bring a SD Life Orb, or just Defiant Life Orb, in which case the Sucker Punch won't take this out from a good chunk of health, and Choice Scarf Brick Break just Okos. I was considering running Superpower, but I prefer Brick Break. It also just means if we bring screens, then I can get rid of them. Stone Edge, I can't actually remember if I ended up deciding on Stone Edge or Rock Slide. I might have to check that. Crunch is just good, solid stab on a lot of things. Rocks actually hurt his team quite a bit, so the Stone Edge, Rock Slide, I can't remember whichever I ended up with. I will probably mention that in my battle. I just need to check what I had gemmed, and then check calcs and stuff. But anyway, it obviously hits the Rotom, it hits the Gardevoir for enough damage, it hits the Mandibuzz for just enough damage, and importantly, this speed investment that I have, it allows me to outspeed Scyther. Scyther is actually a really big problem for my team, so having another thing that can outspeed an Oko is super duper nice, particularly one that resists quick attack if it does decide to bring it. So yeah, I can just fire off a big hit there. Now Toxic is primarily for Donphan. It's also not too bad on Milotic. I know Milotic has Marvel Scale, but the extra Toxic damage is going to be more useful, particularly given one of my things to do with Milotic is Thunderous, which is on special side anyway, and another one which can really hurt it is Excadrill, which has Mold Breaker, so it doesn't care about the Marvel Scale so much. So the extra Toxic damage is going to be more important there than not giving it the defense boost, I think. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me. Again, enough speed to outspeed everything on his team that isn't scarfed. The rest in HP just for some bulk. And that's a fairly standard Tyranitar. I have put Sandstream on there just because it helps me take hits from things like the Rotom, potentially Vileplume, potentially Gardevoir, etc. Now, the next one I decided to bring is pretty much my entire hazard control for this week, and that is Excadrill. I have still gone with an offensive one with leftovers, so it's kind of a bulky-ish one, kind of, maybe. Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Earthquake, and Rock Slide. No Iron Head this week because Earthquake still does a metric fuck ton to Gardevoir, and Iron Head doesn't really hit anything else on his team at all, so I decided to go with Earthquake, Rock Slide, and then full hazard control. So obviously Donphan and Milotic kind of wall this completely, but the Mold Breaker is nice to not worry about Milotic's Marvel Scale. Also obviously destroys Rotom Heat completely and utterly. Rock Slide is nice for the Mandibuzz. I think it's not a 2-hit KO, but it does good damage, depending on its investment. It also Oko's Scyther, but it's a Scyther. And gets good damage on Rotom. It's just a good secondary move to have. Earthquake pretty much hits everything else as hard as it can. The speed investment, I can't remember exactly what that was for. That's bad. I believe... No, it wouldn't be to outspeed max speed Gardevoir. I think it's to outspeed the speed investment I'd be expecting on an offensive Gardevoir that isn't scarfed. which is basically enough to outspeed my base 65s. Because that's the best it can do, you know, to take on Emboar and Tyranitar a bit better. So I think I've put to outspeed a base 65 by 2 points from memory. I can't remember, I think that's it. Hopefully that's it. And yeah, it's just good, reasonably bulky Excadrill because of the investment in HP. Hopefully I can spin. The reason I have leftovers on there is so I can take the rocks damage and just spin repeatedly, because I really don't want rocks up on my side this week because Thundurus is such a big win con. And if it's a full, I can take a Sucker Punch, an Adamant Life Orb Sucker Punch no matter what, so there's that. Next one on my team is the Wall Breaker, the main Wall Breaker, which is Emboar. So Flare Blitz, Head Smash, Wild Charge, Grass Knot, Max Attack, Adamant with an Expert Belt. Now, I know I'm running Adamant with Grass Knot, but it's still 2-hit KOs a physically defensive Donphan, which is sort of what I'm expecting. If he's specially defensive, Grass Knot still does do a damage. If he's fully specially defensive, Flare Blitz 2-hit KOs comfortably anyway. So this is just for damage on things. I'm running enough speed to hopefully outspeed all of his walls. I've gone to outspeed Uninvested Rotom Heat by 2 points, like I did last week with Donphanatic's walls, just so I can fire off really big hits. I didn't want to be choiced this week because it'd be nice to, the combination of Flare Blitz and a Wild Charge is, I believe, like an 80% chance to kill Milotic, obviously if it's not poisoned. So if I can get rocks up, I can just click Flare Blitz, and then if he switches into Milotic, I can just stay in and click Wild Charge, hoping that I outspeed. Hopefully I've scouted his investment by that point. But yeah, basically this thing is here to do what it does pretty much every week, which is get 1, maybe 2 kills, get some big damage off on things, and then just either hang around in the back or die. It doesn't particularly matter at that point. It just needs to get off big hits on the things I'm struggling to take down. And Flare Blitz does that to most of his team. And Mandibuzz can take like a Flare Blitz, but Head Smash just, it's dead. I didn't need Fighting coverage for Bite Shot because Flare Blitz, and yeah, I think that's a fairly self-explanatory set. Flare Blitz also OHKOs Mega Medicham, so that's cool. Now, speaking of Mega Medicham, I have very few switch-ins, but I do have one, and that is my Slyroh. So I'm bringing a physically defensive Slyroh with a Wakan Berry. Reason being, Mega Medicham's only move to hit me is Thunder Punch. And with this, I can take, so if I wasn't running Wakan Berry just fully physically defensive, Thunder Punch would be a roll to 2-hit KO, which basically means if I had taken any chip damage, if I was poisoned, if there were rocks up, etc., it would 2-hit KO. With this, with the Wakan Berry, it basically means I can switch in and take any hit it wants to go for comfortably, and then just fire off a Scald or a Shadow Ball, depending on what I feel like I need. If he hasn't revealed sub, I can Thunder Wave it, slow it right down, which makes it so much more manageable, because once Mega Medicham is slow, I can destroy it with the likes of Emboar, Excadrill, Tyranitar, which should outspeed anyway, because I'm scarfed. Will outspeed anyway, sorry. Thunder Wave is also nice to catch things like the Gardevoir, the Vileplume, Scyther, Bisharp. Basically it's just nice to slow the things down that I can't slow down. Otherwise, I kind of was considering Toxic, but when it's Thunder Wave instead, I didn't really need any other moves, so just slowing things down for the likes of Emboar will really help this match. Scald obviously just for burns, Shadow Ball for a little bit extra damage on Mega Medicham, and like Gardevoir for example. I didn't want to run like Ice Beam for Vileplume because it doesn't really hit anything else on his team that hard, like it doesn't do too much to Vileplume anyway because I'm not invested. So it's better to just hope for Scald burns. But yeah, Shadow Ball is a nice solid 2-hit KO on Mega Medicham, so if I'm in against it and he thinks Thunder Punch is the way to go, I can get off a really big chunk of damage. Now the last one on my team is Mega Ordino with Heal Bell, Wish, Flamethrower, and Dazzling Gleam. I'm not running Protect this week, although I'm fairly sure he will be expecting it. Running Mixed Defenses, more specially based for once, because I really didn't have much for, you know, Milotic, Rotom Heat, even sort of Vileplume, but this isn't my best check to Vileplume anyway. Excadrill's probably my best check to Vileplume. If he gets Sun Up, then I have a Tyranitar, etc. So anyway, Egorodiano is pretty much there to chew hits from Gardevoir and Rotom Heat, primarily, because the other things I'm expecting to be bulky and can't do too much damage to my walls anyway, but my luck is a bit of a problem, even offensively for me. So this thing completely takes on any variant of my logic, because I can just heal Bell off if it Toxics me, if it gets a Skull Burn. I can't do any damage back to it, but I can wish and go into something that can. Lilac is a bit of a problem in that way of the thing that I have to take a hit from it. I can't really do much back, but hopefully with this I can heal Bell off any burns, I can wish up, and then go into my Thundurus, because a Scald shouldn't take out Thundurus unless I'm at a too low amount of health. The main purpose of Ordino is to stop me getting swept by Scyther. I'm very, very scared by Scyther, as you might be able to tell. Because it's not me being set up for off a Scyther, because I can chew any hit it wants to go for, like absolutely anything with this spread. And Flamethrower will break a sub even if he's got a lot of HP investment and a Violet. So that's nice. I didn't want to go with Fire Blast just in case I missed. Flamethrower is also nice to hit the Vileplume potentially on the switch. It won't do too much building more than Dazzling Gleam. And also is a 2-hit KO on Bisharp, so that's super duper nice. On offensive Bisharp, obviously. I can't touch Rotom Heat as well, but my main way to deal with Rotom Heat is going to be getting up Stealth Rocks and Sand and just whittling it down super duper slowly and then killing it with like a Scarfer or with Thundurus. And yeah, this is the optimal EV spread to take hits from as much of his team as possible. This is not 2-hit KO'd by a Choice Specs Gardevoir, Modest Choice Specs Gardevoir, or Modest Specs Rotom Heat. It won't be 2-hit KO'd by anything outside of a high jump kick from Mega Medicham and Iron Head from Bisharp, I believe, and potentially, I haven't checked whether it takes Sludge Bombs from Vileplume. It'll probably take one, but I wouldn't particularly want to anyway. A best check for if you bring Stun Sleep for Vileplume is just to get Sand up, basically. And yeah, that's basically my team. That is my team for this week. So hopefully we can play out a win. I'm feeling much less confident about this matchup than the last one. Although, to be fair, I wasn't particularly confident about last week's matchup either. Just because I really struggled to build a team that I felt could effectively deal with everything he has. I think I can deal with Scyther. Part of the reason I've prepped so much for Scyther is I think he'll bring it trying to sweep me thinking I won't expect it. So I feel like I can deal with Scyther, I can deal with Bisharp, I can deal with Mandibuzz, Donphan, Rotom Heat, Mega Medicham. The issue is Milotic. I don't really have a great switch in for. I don't really have anything on my team that takes it on that well outside of Tangrowth. And Tangrowth just, I don't know, I just couldn't find a set that actually worked for it this week. There were too many things that could just take it out too easily. And yeah, so Vileplume is also potentially a bit of a problem. And yeah, basically, Vileplume and Milotic are going to be problems for me. Mega Medicham I also only have one answer to, really. That and just trying to outspeed it with the likes of Thundurus and Tyranitar. So, there's that. Anyway, enough of my rambling. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next upload.